Why, hello there, everybody, and welcome to Dicing with Death. Ryan, how are you today?
I'm doing well. I just got back from the dentist, so forgive me if I'm only talking out of half of my face, but we'll do our best here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Classic.
Sadly, Twitch is giving me grief, so I can't see chat, but I'm sure they're
out
they're
there.
doing just fine without me. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. We did 400 miles yesterday on a quest to go pick up a trailer. Maybe not quite 400, maybe it was closer to
Trailer
380.
quest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just converting to kilometers for our European audience. That's 640 kilometers.
That's like halfway across Europe.
Yeah, probably. Probably, yeah.
Was the quest successful?
Yes,
Was there treasure at the end?
We now have a 5x7.5, 4x7. I don't remember the exact dimensions. Enclosed trailer that we can haul all of our shit across the country with, which is great. I need that.
Cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. Long drive across windy roads. Trailer.
All right, here we go. I got chat on my phone.
Nice.
I can at least keep an eye on it there. But no way am I typing with my thumbs midstream.
Well, we don't have Layla's lovely recaps.
We do not.
It's a real tragedy.
You'll just have to do your best British accent.
Oh, that's not gonna. I can do old man butler accent. That's the only English accent I can pull off.
I'll pass.
Okay.
We can just recap what happened last week.
Sure. So, there we go. So last session, whatever that was, there was a druidic circle. There was this like carved block of stone that I got attacked on, and I beat a dog almost to death with.
If I recall, you were the aggressor.
Yeah. Well,
a poor dog got attacked. Yeah. So Leon went off in the woods in search of this druidic circle, right?
Mm-hmm.
You found a carved stone, a toppled standing stone.
Mm-hmm.
A sitting? Does it make it a sitting stone? A prone stone?
A prone stone.
Yeah, you pursued this watchdog to the stone, and the dog appeared to be standing watch atop. And you proceeded to play with the dog, wrestle with the dog.
Tried to communicate with the dog, and it didn't work. And then we eventually fought.
You don't speak dog. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I didn't kill him. I let him go.
You let him go?
Yeah, I let him go. That's how Leon sees it.
All right. Yeah. You wrestled. He bit. You punched with your fist of stone.
Yes.
And sent the dog whimpering into the woods.
Yes. I did a cool lizard drawing on a rock too. We can't forget.
Yeah, you spent a couple of nights on this rock and saw a number of interesting creatures, right?
Yeah.
Strange phenomena in the wee hours of the morning. You're not sure how much of it was a dream that you saw at your makeshift campsite. A lizard and a silver fox.
Mm-hmm.
And you followed the silver fox on the night of the full moon deeper into the woods, many miles, until you came to a circle of stones, much like that prone stone that you encountered the dog on.
Mm-hmm.
And there appeared to be some sort of ceremony or event going on this night of the full moon. A gathering of forest creatures. And there was an elf and a man and a child. And it appears that the elf was guiding the the child through some sort of interdimensional portal.
Yeah. And then I was
that's-
supposed to follow through with another person.
Yeah.
The
There
fox.
who I don't know. Supposed to. I don't know if anyone told you to. So the elf told you to at least give him a few minutes.
Yeah. I was confused
To, like,
at that
get-
part. I wasn't sure if I was supposed to go or not, but then they said give us a few minutes, which made me think like that's an invitation or an instruction to follow after a period of time.
It's actually, I mean, it was more the opposite. It was like, give us a head start if you're coming in through.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not sure what to make of that, but
One way or another, Jeeves has gone through and
Jeeves?
Jeeves. Maldris.
Is that the elf? Is that the elf's name? Okay,
Maldris.
Leon.
Maldris has gone through,
Yeah.
leaving like all of his shit behind. So I literally just have my clothes and my spell book. I have no coins and no weapons. Literally just the clothes on my back and my spell book.
All right. So it was you and the fox in the clearing at this point.
Yes.
Other animals perhaps on the edge of the clearing. In the circle of stones, and it sounds like Leon steps through this. It's like 3 stones, so 2 vertical and 1 horizontal, to form a crude archway.
Mm-hmm.
And as you look through, you see clear through to the other side, to the other edge of the circle of stones and the trees on the other side, but something looks different. The colors perhaps more vibrant, perhaps unnatural. And I think you're stepping on through.
I'm stepping on through.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Yeah, if I recall last time you failed a perception check. So you notice as you're stepping through that there was another man in the circle of stones. Sort of like at the far, 100 or so feet off at the outside rim of the circle, on the opposite side that you had been, sitting atop a stone. And you stepped through. Do we have any spoopy music we want to?
I'm already playing it.
Already playing the spooks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you step through, and it's markedly less dramatic than you would have anticipated, right? There's no soul-wrenching, you get butterflies in your stomach, but you're not sure if that's just the anticipation. And you step through, and you more or less find yourself on just stepping through this arch of stones in more or less the same place. But things are a bit odd. Looking up, I think the first thing you notice is the sky. Is not the sky you left behind. Instead, it is filled with brilliant hues of greens and yellows and oranges and purples. You're not sure which direction, but to one side, it looks like the sun is rising.
Mm-hmm.
And there are brilliant oranges, and directly above you, spiraling, lights of green. And as you're sort of looking up, distracted at the skies, you notice that there's a mist welling up around your ankles. You're not sure if it was there to begin with or if it's billowing in. But here you stand.
The fox came through with me, right?
Roll a perception check.
25.
Yeah, so the fox follows in to roughly now, or you look down at your feet and it's there now, but it's not as it was before. It looks like incorporeal, perhaps.
I check my
like
hands.
A ghostly visage of a fox.
Am I incorporeal?
You seem your hand looks fine before you, but this incorporeal fox is sort of dancing, some 10 feet away from you, shifting in the mist.
I'll take a few steps forward to kind of give myself some distance from the large standing stones, and look around to see if I can spot any of the other people that I had seen in the circle. There was the father of the girl who didn't come with her, and you said there was another man somewhere else.
Yeah, we can just stick with that perception check. So the father I mean, I guess I'll answer in the order that you mentioned it, although I don't know that this is the order that you notice or care. But the father of the girl, you can spot where you left him, sort of on the other side of the circle of stones. But he is hazy and obscured through the mist. But you can sort of see him on the other side. There is still a man atop the circle of stones, maybe 100 feet from you. Sort of dangling his feet off the edge of the circle and smoking a pipe. Maybe watching you with curiosity. And the fox dances around you. And then
go ahead.
I was in the mist around the circle of stones, you can spot several other incorporeal animals. Right, you spot the watchdog, and maybe the shifting mists up in the treetops. Maybe look like birds, or maybe that's just the fog.
Leon's not really sure where he is. And he doesn't really know what to do from here. Like, he was really hoping for a guide to take him somewhere, and this fox is just dancing around him. But he knows he's not really in the place he left. I don't think Leon's well educated enough to know what an ethereal or astral plane is. But I think for him...
Yeah. I mean, you could roll some sort of check to see if you might... I guess, yeah. Were you were expecting a guide to be delivered to you? I mean, the only two guides you knew you left behind back in town.
Well, I meant not necessarily like you're going to guide me through the woods, but more of someone to point. Like, that's the reason he was running into these druids, was hoping to get someone to point him the way to some wizard or someone who could teach him about magic. But here he is, like, going through some sort of magic portal, and he's like, whoa, this is in the vein of things I was looking for, but I don't know what to do with this information. So he's kind of just looking around dumbfounded for a moment.
Yeah, I did forget to mention, you can see the elf and the child. You gave them a couple-minute head start, so you see them, like, leaving the circle and carving a path through the trees, which, now that you look at it, they seem thicker than you recall. Perhaps older. The trees seem a little taller. You thought you were in the same place, but yeah.
Well, Leon's gonna
little details
follow
are
them,
off.
Yeah,
For example,
that's the only clue he's got now. He was fairly certain that the elf was asking him to leave them alone and not follow them. I think that's what he thought the head start was supposed to be. But Leon's never been one to heed other people's authority. You know, he's his own man, so he'll start off in the direction of the elf and the girl. Not too quickly, but he'll head for them.
Okay. All right. So you follow through the trees. You can go ahead and roll me some kind of perception check.
Ooh, 17. Not great.
No, I think you lose them. You find where they entered where they left the circle, entered the forest, and there's nothing. It's almost like you saw them brush aside a bush to push through, and by the time you get to where you thought they stepped in, there's no sign of their passing. There's no you can't even find any broken twigs or anything. It seems odd, almost like they just disappeared into the forest.
The fox following me?
Not following you, but if you turn around, you think you lost it, and then you look for a second or two, and you can spot it dancing in the mists.
Well, Leon will squat down on his haunches, try and get the fox's attention, or wait for the fox to approach him somehow. He's gonna try and communicate with this animal.
Yeah. Yeah, you squat down and try and get the animal's attention, and yeah, whether it understands you or not, it responds to your call.
Well, it's from my squatted position.
Yeah.
Hands kind of on my hips. Leon will go, little Foxy. Supposed to be a wizard over here somewhere? Or a spellcaster? Are you gonna lead me to him?
Yeah. So the man on the stone is now about 50 feet off. And he seems to be getting trying to get your attention.
Yeah.
Oh, psst. But you got this fox that now leaps up into your lap. This incorporeal fox. And then there's a swirling of mist, and the fox sort of changes, and the mist sort of stretches, and it takes the form of a humanoid.
Hi there, buddy. You mind getting out of my lap?
Yeah, it's out of you. It jumped on your lap, and then a swirling of mist around you.
I'll take a few steps back, or Leon will take a few steps back. Maybe a little surprised. He kind of maybe knew that the fox was a person, but this is like, this magic is way above him. He just left being like a brute enforcer for a drug cartel or something like 2 weeks ago, and now there's like fucking foxes shape changing and ethereal plant, swirling mist. He's maybe having a slight panic attack. He takes a few steps back and gets a bearing on the situation. So
the fox takes the form of a robed figure, still somewhat incorporeal, mist-like, sort of brilliant white, almost glowing mist to contrast to the grays of the fog. Robed, so you can't make out many of the features, and again, all sort of in one haze of light. And looks before you, or stands before you. There is no wizard here, says the robed figure. Only the wilds. If you follow the ways through the other world, perhaps you may find what it is you seek.
The other world? I'd ask him questioningly while trying to look past him to see if the person on the stones is still trying to get my attention.
He doesn't appear to be in any rush. He's sort of standing there, twiddling his, dangling his feet, but watching. He nods and sort of like gestures around.
A lot of wilds out there. You have something a little more specific?
The robed, cowled head sort of cocks to the side. Specific? Well, I would suggest that you not venture out without a guide. Did you come here alone?
Yeah.
How very reckless of you.
His palms are starting to sweat a little bit.
Psst, oi.
Maybe that guy's my guide, actually. And I kind of like shuffle around the transformed fox.
Reckless
and start
indeed.
Backing towards the person.
The robe. Yeah. Reckless indeed, as the robed figure sort of disappears into the fog.
All right, at that, Leon will turn and break and run for the other guy. And then like maybe stop himself 15, 20 feet and turn it into like a quick pace, sort
you
of
there?
Like nervous skittering. Hi.
Taking puffs from a long, slender pipe. What's your name? This man is very much corporeal. He sitting atop the stone. He's got a vest of green and trousers to match. So it almost looks like it was a 3-piece suit, but he doesn't have a jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Long pointed shoes, receding hairline, and big red mutton chops.
Finally, something I can understand. Liam thinks to himself. My name is Maldris.
Maldris. Well, I'm Fano. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. He blows smoke in your direction from atop the stone. How close do you get to?
I want to get close enough that we can speak, but I don't want to be so close that I have to be like staring straight up like this.
Sure, yeah, so maybe 15 feet
15,
or so
20,
in front of this.
25 feet, something like that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you, I'm here looking for someone who can teach me. I grab my spell book from, tucked under my arm. I've got a spell in here that I need to learn.
Ooh. Fano jumps off of the stone, sort of landing on the ground somewhat gracefully. And he stands up and sort of teeters. Well, what have we here?
Carefully, I flip open the book to the read magic page, and I hold it out before him, but I keep a firm grasp on it. I don't trust someone whose name begins with Fa. So.
All right. He strides teeteringly towards you. Tell me, Maldris, do you like gold? As I roll some dice.
I tell you where a large cache of gold is. Exchange for your services. He
approaches you, and you see his fingers sort of dance as if he's going to snatch the spell book, and he doesn't.
Hold it firmly.
Yeah, he doesn't lay his hands on it. Gold, you say? A cache?
Yes. You can teach me the spell in this book. I can direct you to 130, 150 gold.
He starts to circle around you. How tall is
5'10", 175 pounds.
Okay.
27 years of age.
So this gentleman is rather tall. Okay. He's probably nearly a head taller than you. I guess about 6'4", and slender.
Okay.
And despite his sort of graceful fall, he seems to kind of teeter as he walks. You're not sure if it's part of an act or if he's drunk or something. But he circles around you while continuing to talk. He says, in exchange for some gold, I can show you a trick or two. He says, sort of putting his head like next to yours. That makes sense. Like he comes up behind you and whispers that in your ear.
Creeping over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Guy. Leon's thinking
he continues
himself,
to walk around
I'm
you.
gonna work with this guy, get my thing, and then eventually I'm just gonna kill him. This guy's a fucking creep. Maybe not kill him, but God, this guy's fucking weird as shit, man. Let's not stay around him too long.
But I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Do you think you have the gift? Not every chump can... is the book still out before you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he flips through a couple pages, so yeah, he touches your book and flips through it. Not every chump off the street can speak the words of truth.
I have
He takes a long drag
few
from his
tricks
pipe.
up my sleeve, but it's been a long day. I've already expended my charges. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Got a place we can call... Well... I don't want to be trapped here, I say bluntly.
What makes you think there's a trap?
Leon looks longingly back at the portal.
There's no obvious portal, right? There's a stone
it's the
archway in the center of stones.
Yeah, I'm just referring to the archway.
Mm-hmm.
If we study and spend some time, can I walk back through that archway and go back to whatever natural realm that is, instead of this ungodly place?
The ways are made clear once a moon. If you can find your way back.
Month is a long time, but that could get me out of the woods and grasp. Leon says, kind of aloud, as if he was thinking it to himself, but then just kind of murmurs the words. Okay.
Gold? You were talking about gold.
It's back on the other side. We're away from all these shifting green lights.
The other side, you say? And you only just got here.
Gonna show me what you got, or you all talk?
Show you what I've got. Puts his hand on his hips, holding the pipe between two fingers.
Well?
I'm not sure exactly what you're expecting, but if you say there's gold over there...
Hundreds of gold coins. Maybe a few silver ones, too. That is your jam.
Well, well, well. He bows and extends a hand.
I close the book and extend my right hand to him.
Oh, it's sort of like an awkward handshake. So he's got a bow with a hand flourish.
Oh yeah,
and
I
you
just
take the hand. And he raises an eyebrow.
Yeah, it's an
up.
awkward meeting of people from different places and different times.
Yeah. Well, 'tis a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Maldris.
I'm sure
Together I think we'll be fabulously wealthy. He gives you a pat on the arm.
Maldris doesn't trust this guy, not one bit. So, you have a place we can go? Just looking around the empty, weird-ass druidic circle with big stones. A house, place with a fireplace and whiskey.
I have a house somewhere, but it's not here. We can't go there right now. You said your gold is on the other side.
Yeah.
Well, then what are we doing over here?
I gesture for the stone archway and speed walk in that direction, taking long strides, eager to get the hell out of here.
All right. So I guess within a few minutes of arriving, you return back through the portal to the real world?
Yes.
Yes.
Does this guy follow through with me?
He does indeed. Yeah.
God.
And you are back to the Circle of Stones. The sun is just beginning to rise. And you have a new companion, Fano.
Fano, S-A-N-N-O?
You can spell it however you like. He didn't write it down for you.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I was getting that first letter wrong, that it's a F sound and not a T sound, a TH sound. Cool, so I guess the sun's rising?
Yep.
Oh. I think that's a bit of a surprise for Leon. That's not what he was expecting. No.
Maybe. You did kind of travel through the night. But yeah, perhaps you lost some hours in there. You're not totally sure.
I will attempt to remember the way back to the stone. Big cut stone where all my gear is.
Yeah.
And lead this man there.
I think roll a wisdom check.
Okay. That for you.
See if
28. Oh my god.
Yeah. So it's you've traveled many miles from that stone. But with some hours of travel, you're able to make your way there. Fano offers you a drag of whiskey from a flask. Produces.
Leon greedily gulps at it. Let's see if I can find an old version of my character sheet. Figure out how much exactly I have. But do that because it's saved on Dropbox, and so it's got revision history online.
Yep. Fano travels light. He doesn't have any backpack or anything. And he's quite quick, so he skips ahead and then waits and runs back. Is there anything you'll ask him on this journey, or do you kind of give him space?
Nope, we're good. I think we can cruise together happily.
Okay. Some hours later, you make your way back to your stone.
Okay.
And I think did you bury your stuff, or did you just set it atop?
I think I left it all in the little lean-to. But I'm not going to lead him to the side of the lean-to. I'm going to lead him to the other side first. I want to make sure that I get my end of the deal before he gets paid.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. So you are approaching you're leading him to the stone, and then as you get close, he speeds off ahead of you, and he's he's on top of the stone by the time you catch him.
Oh well.
Sort of looking around.
Sure. I will lead him if he's already going to search my place.
He squats on top of the stone and sort of rubs it. Nice choice. It's an excellent spot to hide some treasure.
So
he hops down off the stone next to you.
Leon,
on the side away from the lean-to. But,
Leon greedily rubs his fingers together. Let's make a deal, shall we?
Ooh, Fano loves a good deal.
I open the spellbook to the read magic page. You help me learn this. I'll dig up all of my gold for you.
He sort of gives a slow nod. And yeah, he sort of leans in and peers at your book. This. Why would you want to learn this?
So I can learn the other ones. Want to learn them all, you see.
Wouldn't you rather start with something more fun? He stands up straight.
I look at him carefully. Leon's trying to judge if this guy's trying to screw him by teaching him something else that Leon needs the read magic spell, right? So he knows he needs that. And the temptation to learn something more fun is a strong one for Leon. But he also knows that he needs this, so he's trying to figure out a way he can, like, maybe game this guy to get 2 spells for the price of 1. So he goes, well, I would be happy to start with something more fun, as long as this one still gets done.
Clever, clever. Well, I suppose if you learn to read the secret language, you can learn any spell you wish.
Yes.
He scratches his chin. All your gold for all the spells? Seems a fair trade to me.
Fair enough. How do we get started?
Well, he starts looking around the stone and spots, I think, your painting of the
Of my lizard
of
painting?
the lizard.
Oh no, I already deleted it.
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. Get started. Know you your letters?
Of course. I can read, write, and then I switch over to Dwarven. I can speak many languages, and then I speak over to switch to Mongrelman, even obscene one. Switch back to Common. I am
Well,
more well educated than you might expect.
Are those the only languages you speak?
I also speak Common, Dwarven, Halfling, Knoll, Thieves' Cant, Mongrelman.
Cool. Oh, yeah, okay. I was going to say he switches to a language you don't understand, but he responds in Halfling. Well, forget all you know of letters. The runes are a very different thing.
I will switch over to Knoll and say, well, let's see what you can... Let's see if you're more than all talk.
And he... Have you a pen?
Leon...
Or some chalk? What did you use to draw this? He points to the lizard. A stick?
A stick and blood?
How very arcane. Well, have you a stick? I need something to write with.
I go snap a stick off of a nearby tree and hand it to him.
This isn't a writing stick. Where's your writing stick? He starts looking around, rummaging around your campsite.
Leon just stands back and crosses his arms. This guy
Where's
is weird.
Where's the stick that you...
Oh, it's probably like
used?
sitting right next to the rock. I probably like finished doing my drawings and then just like tossed it to the ground.
Okay. So he rummages around your campsite, pokes into the he does poke his head into your lean-to at some point. But he eventually finds his way to your stick. He says, just what I was looking for. Yes, now this is a proper writing stick. And he stands before the stone, holds up your stick, and begins tracing in the stone. And as the stick touches stone, there's like a hissing and a steaming, and it's as if he's melting the stone. He begins carving into it. A single long gash.
Whoa.
And he carves some sort of rune into the stone.
Whoa. Leon watches with curiosity and maybe a little bit of awe.
Now this is Fae. Profano. The most important rune of all. And I think from there he goes into some sort of lesson on language of magic or something like that. And I think we'll sort of fast forward through a couple hours of this. The carving he doesn't permanently etch into the stone.
Okay.
So like I mean he's able to. It seems like he's able to erase it at will.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes through some lesson attempting to teach you.
Read magic spell?
Yeah. I mean, it seemed like his lesson plan is as eccentric as he.
That's
you
fair.
You don't necessarily feel like you're learning anything. You're not sure if he's making this up as it goes along, if these things that he's sketching are actual letters, but so it goes. You can. I believe you've leveled since the last time you attempted to learn read magic.
Right.
So you can go ahead and roll to learn.
All right. So if I fail to learn this, am I like screwed until the next level, or is this guy giving me some sort of bonus? My learn check.
If you want to hold off on, we could maybe look into like the research rules for spell learning. If there's a way to enhance, to increase your spell chance as such. If not, you may, right? I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to give you an inherent bonus necessarily.
I want to make sure see if read magic is in some sort of like universal magic. It is.
It is in universal.
I don't get a penalty to it. Because I have a penalty to non-geomancer spells or non-elemental spells.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a 50-50 shot, and that's pretty bad.
I'll eliminate the penalty. I don't know. I don't want to make this canon. I don't know if that's how the rules go, but that's fine. It's a generalist spell, and you're getting instruction. Okay. We can go ahead and waive the -25 or whatever it is, and just roll your base spell learn chance.
So that's a 75 or lower on a D100.
Sure. No, You're not sure what sort of gibberish this Fano is spouting, but you're pretty sure it's all bullocks. He's making up these runes and pulling your leg.
Leon puts his
the
hands
runes.
on his
I mean,
hips.
like you've gone through this lesson. I think you've thrown it all out the window. Like he's taught you all these runes and these obscure rules for stacking them together, and he's like telling He's like trying to point out that like these runes are left as signs in the forest all around you. The druids totally use them to communicate. And you're like, there's no rune on those trees over there. You're full of shit. And these look nothing like the letters in my book.
All right, he slams his book shut.
You wasted the day basically between traveling here and going through this lesson. I
slam my book shut.
Mm-hmm.
Give him
But he very clearly is able to manipulate magic, right? I mean, he's this whole lesson took place sort of on the stone, but by the end of it, he's erased it and it's back to a clear sheet of stone. He also seems to be able to throw his voice. So like throughout the lesson, he was like you'd hear him giving instructions behind you or off to the side, like as if he's like playing as if there's guest instructors coming in, but it's really just him sort of standing there with his mouth closed, projecting his voice over your shoulder.
Leon's dealt with many assholes and many people who think it's fun to just screw with people for funsies. Leon's pretty convinced that this guy's just one of those people who's out to let's see if I can trick this guy into giving me his gold by giving him a lesson on something he doesn't need. So after a while, Leon shuts his book, crosses his arms. Look, buddy, I didn't come here for you to waste my time. If you've gotten in my way, learning the thing that I need to learn, we're gonna have a big problem here. And all this is clearly bullshit. Not one of those runes matches with one of them in my book.
You're just not looking hard enough. I think the only thing getting in the way of you learning what you need to know is your thick skull. And he gives your forehead a tap with the end of his pipe.
Leon sees that as a threat. He wants to remove my skull?
I told you we should have started with the fun stuff. That voice doesn't, his mouth doesn't move as he says that. And so you hear it behind you.
Well, you didn't hold up your end of the bargain. Well, I'm not holding up mine.
Oh, but you see, we had a deal.
Yeah, and you failed on your end.
Oh, you failed. I succeeded marvelously. I'm walking out of here with several hundred more gold.
No, you're not. Leon stands his ground.
Well, what do you say to some supper? I'm famished.
I think there's a lake over there. Maybe you could go catch us some fish.
Nah, I saw a cottage. I think we could get in and out with their pie before they saw us coming.
Be my guest. I'll wait here.
You don't want any pie?
I need to tidy up a little bit. Maybe create a nice picnic spread for us. You get the pie, I'll fetch the water, and make the place nice for your return.
Very well, then.
Leon waits like 3 minutes after this guy's gone, then just loads up all of his shit in his backpack.
You never see him go, but he's gone.
Yeah.
Like, I think you glance down to like look at your backpack or whatever, and he's gone. Like, yeah, you like take your eyes off him for a second, and he's disappeared, but you never actually saw him leave.
I'll putt around for like 2 or 3 minutes, like, pretending to prep the place. And after a few minutes have passed, Leon just grabs all of his shit, loads it in his backpack, puts his money back on his waist, and heads south. Fucking druids. I should have listened to the damn rangers. They knew what they were talking about. Souls. Can't teach anyone magic worth shit. I'll figure it out on my own. If it takes me the rest of my life, I'll figure it out.
So by south, you mean into the woods?
Yes.
All right. Cool. It is getting towards the end of the day. You haven't slept. You haven't eaten. Do you have rations?
I do. I have a lot of food on me. I will mark off a day's worth.
So you can eat, but you're not going to rest. You will begin traveling sort of into the twilight.
I want to put some distance between me and this guy. I think Leon's probably pretty exhausted between the traveling he did last night, then all this weird stuff, then the traveling back, then trying to learn a spell all day. He probably hasn't slept 36 hours. Right?
Sounds, yeah, you were up all night with the druids through the day. Yeah, about 36 hours.
Yeah, so it's been 36 hours. He's getting pretty tired. But he's not about to, try and stiff this guy on his money and then not disappear. So I think I think Leon's looking ahead at the journey before him through the woods in the middle of the night with this, oh, hell, this is the worst. My life has been nothing but hell ever since I left the city. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I should just go back to Seagate. Like, this is not panning out how I wanted it to. Who the hell chooses a life of marching through the forest, 2 nights in a row without any sleep and eating these shitty rations of food and not learning fucking people speaking halfling and throwing their voice, and he's just like muttering to himself and pissed off and, angry with himself as much as he is with these other people, but he's gonna try and put at least 5 miles between him and this weird-ass person before he sits down to rest.
Okay. All right, so you trudge through the forest, and eventually the sun does go down, and you keep pushing, try to get a few more miles.
Ass. Hell was that guy? Spoke halfling, grown his voice, interested in my gold. It's like a super tall leprechaun. That's not the right soundtrack. So Leon pushes. Pushes.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
17.
Okay.
Luck is turning for the worst.
No, it'll be fine. Yeah. You hear the howling of wolves in the woods that night. I don't think you actually spot them, and I don't think they harass you. But it spooks you, maybe gives you that shot of adrenaline you need to keep trekking the extra miles. And you put enough distance that you think you've got a good enough head start on this guy that you probably lost him. And hopefully enough distance between you and those wolves. They won't come snooping around.
Hopefully.
It's dark, and you're not totally sure where you are, so I'm guessing you eventually bed down for the night?
Yeah. Once it's,
make a camp.
Well into the night, and I've put at least 5 miles between me and this guy. Leon's tired. He could probably push himself all the way through the night, but he wants to rest so he can memorize some spells in case this guy comes back. Do you make any camp or anything? Only the most rudimentary shelter. I don't really have much in the way of shelter supplies, so I think it's like find a thicket or a bush or some sort of like cover, crawl into it, like take any extra clothes he's got, pile it on top of them, pile his backpack on top of them, like tuck his spellbook underneath his arms, and then just try and sleep through the cold night on the hard ground. Muttering to himself the whole time about, it's the last time I'm spending a night out in the woods without a tent, without a sleeping bag, without a fucking pillow.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Oh,
especially not to yourself.
Well, I think lying to yourself is something that Leon's been doing his whole life. So this is not too different from his normal lies that he tells himself.
Well, you bed down for the night. There's no surprise attacks in your sleep. And you wake up fresh and rested the next day. You can memorize your spells.
Okay. I can learn a new spell then.
Yeah, so do we want to take our break here, or what do you think? Or do we...
You want to take a break at all?
Yeah, it's probably not necessary. We can just do one long segment.
You know what?
One short,
we'll do it
long.
now. Yeah, let's do a break now. Let's give you a chance to figure your stuff out and me a chance to refill my coffee. So we will be back in about 5 minutes with a little bit more Dicing with Death. See you guys on the other side.
Bye-bye.